So Kanishk, you are BTech from one of the most premier institutes of India,
Yes, sir.
and you intend to go into services.
Yes, sir.
So what is the motivation behind getting into services?
So the prime motivation is to make a direct impact, to make a meaningful one, and to get my efforts capitalized by the backing of the state, sir.
And what do you mean by meaningful impact? Can you give some examples of that?
Sir, had I taken a career in research, the outcome would have been slightly delayed when compared to a meaningful impact while serving in the administration. And for example, a case of a grievance redressal, a case of a day-to-day struggle which one faces for the implementation of a scheme which one faces can be solved, and this I see as a meaningful impact, sir.
You come from Haryana, right?
Yes, sir.
Haryana is one of the most prosperous states of India, but there is a paradox also where society traditionally is very conservative and patriarchal culture is very much prevalent. Do you agree with this statement?
Sir, things have improved considerably. Post 2014, we were at 2014, if I can remember, we were amongst the bottom 8 states in the sex ratio at birth. But now we have improved. We are above 900, and we are on to become the equally well when competing with the national average. However, there is a gap which can be improved, sir.
So as per the recent Pratham data, the learning outcomes of Haryana with Kerala, there is a wide disparity. And a class 5 student cannot solve the mathematics of class 2. And that is for the majority of the student. So again, coming to the same question, if you get into the post of an administrator where you have to take care of the education department, tell me 3 reforms that you would bring in the system so that the overall learning outcome improves.
Sir, first is taking away the focus from rote learning to understand the underlying concept, specifically in mathematics, which is quite technical. Second, sir, there has to be an improvement in the teaching assessment. There has to be a continuous rebuilding of skills of teachers. There has to be a continuous training. And third, sir, there has to be a greater inculcation of new age skills such as AI, such as robotics, so that they get equipped with the current happenings.
We can categorize the education at primary level, secondary level and tertiary level. You are mentioning about inculcation of robotics and AI. That is primarily at the higher education level. But problem is more at the primary and secondary level. So what reform you feel that we should bring at primary and secondary level?
Definitely, sir, as a concept, they are quite abstract, which is to be inculcated in class 9, class 10. However, sir, at the primary level, crux lies at the shaping the focus from rote learning, which starts from class 1, class 2. There is a fear of examination that we have to perform well in examination, and that is the sole purpose. This fear has to be removed, sir.
Okay, last question, then I'll pass on to sir. What is the difference between teaching and mentoring?
Sir, mentoring encompasses a range of instructions that is not limited to academic instructions, which is the case with teaching. Mentoring is available at all times, at all stages of development. It's not a formal process, which is the case with teaching, sir.
Kanishak, give me a brief introduction about this.
So I am born in Faridabad, Haryana. I did my senior secondary schooling from Jodhpur, Rajasthan. Thereafter, I did my BTech in mechanical engineering from IIT Delhi. My interest includes exploring solar thermal systems, and container gardening is my hobby, sir.
I was saying about that you also had an interest in chess.
Yes, sir.
So what is the peculiar difference you find between the chess and the shatranj?
So Shatranj is the originator of chess. It originated in India. However, sir, the difference in the correct form lies in few moves. Sir, there is a move where the pawn gets to have 2 places. It can move 2 places forward at the first instance, which is not present in the Shatranj. The castling is now incorporated in chess, which is not present in Shatranj. These are the differences, sir.
So could you throw some light on the rising chess championship in India and the recent people, those who come across this, especially highlighting any important person into this, especially in the field of chess in past 1 year, especially from India?
So last 1 year has been exemplifying for India. We have won chess Olympiad. We have taken 3 merits in it: the individual gold, the team's gold, the women's gold. We have taken the world championship is from India. He's the youngest, Domaraju Gukesh. And moreover, sir, recently junior chess championship is with India, sir. There's a great prospect.
Another question to you is that why your preference is IAS? Why you have put it as your first preference?
Sir, although I would love to be in any service, but IAS gives me a broader scope to have a greater role in policy making at the higher level concerned, sir.
You tell me something about the administration in Haryana, because you are from Faridabad. So Faridabad is a commissionerate.
Yes, sir.
It's a commissionerate.
Yes, sir.
So currently, who's the commissioner police?
Sorry, sir, I'm unaware about this.
Okay. Any remedial steps have been taken by the Faridabad administration in context of development in the Faridabad? Any special efforts being taken in last 1 year?
Yes, sir. MCF 311 app has been launched, which gives a citizen a direct at the home to share their grievances, and these are resolved instantly. Moreover, sir, there has been a greater integration of the police system. The beat policing has been strengthened. Now WhatsApp groups are being formed. RWA is being taken into confidence, sir.
What is the benefit of introducing the commissionerate system? Any idea about this?
Sir, I can make an attempt with your due permission, sir. Sir, with the advancement of technology, with the development of technology as well as greater integrity is involved in the law and order problem. They are cross-connected. So we need to have a greater focus over law and order. For these greater responsibilities are dealt in the commissionerate system. Right. This also gives some greater time for the administration to concern on its core functions, sir.
Like recently, India has moved its foreign policy from non-aligned to multi-aligned.
Yes.
We want to throw some light on this.
So non-alignment was a need of that time. Multi-alignment is a need of this time. We need to align with all the partners. Non-alignment was at the time where we were not in favor of either ideology. Cold War as it was at its peak. However, sir, right now we focus on our national interest. We need to get the best from everything. We need to manage our differences with each and one. And this non-alignment, this multi-alignment helps us in pursuing strategic autonomy.
Okay, and could you throw some light on the topic of Balochistan issue?
Sir, recently there was an attack over train by Balochistan Liberation Army. Balochistan is an area presently falling in the countries of Pakistan, Afghanistan and Iran, and they have a fear that due to the inculcations of Chinese by means of Belt and Road initiatives, they also have a tendency of greater autonomy from the Pakistan.
My last question to you is, could you apply the Plato's metaphysics in the contemporary world?
Sorry, sir, I am unaware of his metaphysics, sir.
Okay, Kanishak, I'll ask you a question and I'll pass on to the Shiv sir. Now, you are involved in container gardening, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can you tell me briefly what exactly it is and how it is being done?
It's about planting greens as well as flowers in pots. Roughly 25 to 30% of my pots are recycled pots. They are food containers, paint containers, they are rags which have been modeled, which have been to be put to use. And I grow greens like palms, I grow flowers like hibiscus, like rose, the seasonal flowers like petunia.
It can be done anywhere?
Yes, sir, it can be done anywhere.
Indoor, outdoor, both, right?
Yes, sir, I prefer outdoor.
Okay. And so this concept has been there since, this concept is getting more popular in urban areas today. So if we have to popularize such concept, do we have any kind of government schemes or measures which is promoting gardening or anything that we know? The horticulture.
Sir, last year there was a scheme, Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam, by which there was an focus to give the citizens a internal feeling that trees are there to help us. Moreover, sir, there is a distribution scheme of plants run by Delhi government to have a greener environment, sir.
Hi Kanishak, I will ask you your favorite leader that motivates you.
Sorry, sir, I have
Maybe contemporary, some past leaders, freedom fighters, your parents. Who motivates you the most?
Sir, my mother is my prime motivation, as well as, sir, I receive motivation from acts, not in personality in particular. The acts may be by my batchmates, by my teachers, and by my grandparents. And these are the source of motivation which keeps me up, sir.
Some specific incident that motivates you a lot? Any act of a specific person that you're talking about?
Sir, non-reciprocal help is one of the act which touches me very deeply, sir.
Selflessness, that is. Okay. Your biggest mistake of your life, if you can recall any? Any decision that you want to change?
Sir, although a decision which would impact a larger scheme of things, sir, I would not like to change anything. However, there are small pieces here and there which do not make such a larger impact, and these are.
You are a mechanical engineer.
Yes.
Why not physics as optional rather than mathematics? As physics is much more taught you in BTech.
Yes, sir, physics is quite interesting, but mathematics has two advantages. One, that its syllabus was comparatively lesser than other objective optionals, and second, there was an overlap between mathematics and my course curriculum at IIT Delhi. Almost 30 to 40% syllabus resonates similarly, sir.
Any specific thing you want to suggest in Indian education policy making to improvise the STEM?
Sir,
Have you read the National Education Policy?
yes, sir, yes.
Any specific points that you find are very good, or any suggestions for improvement?
Sir, practical learning as focused in the National Education Policy. The focus over use of mother tongue at the initial stages helps the child to develop better because he is able to understand that well. And so there is an homogenization of the STEM as well as non-STEM schemes. The humanities also play a role in shaping the STEM career, sir.
Any specific constitutional provision that talks about mother tongue, education in mother tongue?
Sir, I will read about it, sir.
5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 scheme, have you read in National Education Policy? What are those stages? Can you explain?
So the 5 corresponds to early childhood system, and as we progress, sir, from primary schooling to secondary schooling and then senior secondary schooling, these are the three and stages, sir.
As it seems you are enthusiastic about going into administration, so there must be some targets that these areas I will prioritize to work, these sectors. Any 3 sectors you can tell us?
Sir, with my limited knowledge, the first sector can be, which I think should be prioritized, is the interaction between the administration and the citizens. It has to be greater collaboration between the two and should not be seen as a lens of alienation. And secondly, sir, the second sector which is close to me is education, and third, I would like to focus upon health. Only with these things we can be a developed nation, sir.
As sir was talking about the Balochistan issue, if Balochistan gets independent, Is it in India's favor or it will create some more issues?
Sir, it would be to, sir, any trend of secession is likely to harm us, because this creates a wave in the mind of people that secession, if it can happen here, it can also happen here. So integrity, territorial sovereignty is what India focuses upon, sir.
Specific issues between Afghanistan and Pakistan? What are the challenges between their relations?
Sir, one issue is about the Tehrik-e-Taliban, which Pakistani alleges that Afghanistan is trying to create a sort of, because of this group, there is a disturbance in Pakistan, sir. That is one I can think of right now, sir.
Okay. If I ask you any specific segment or area, subject area that you want us to deal deeper with you, any area that you want we ask questions upon that?
Thank you for the opportunity, sir. But thank you, sir.
Okay.
So, Kanish, right? So, what is the meaning of your name?
Sir, literally it means to fulfill, and it's placed after the Kanishak, the king of Kushan dynasty, sir.
This was which year? Which phase?
Sir, his accession happened as per the most accepted theory at 127 AD, sir.
Okay, okay. Recent, in the interstate, we have a recent controversy that we are witnessing is the issue of delimitation. Can you show some light on that? That's the first part of the question. Second is that what potential solutions do you feel that can be given?
Sir, the issue pertains that some states, specifically the southern states, have flourished well due to their policies, proactive policies, which have reduced the population growth rate, and due to which they fear that their share of seats in the Lok Sabha as well will be hampered if delimitation continues, because the northern states have seen a greater surge in population. And sir, to suggest a solution to this, it has to be made clear that Lok Sabha is not is based on the principle of democracy. Democracy means vote rule by the people, and there can be concessions given. For example, say in Rajya Sabha, which is a federal state, which is a federal part of federal structure, and there can be greater concessions given by Finance Commission on the basis of progress. However, sir, the vote value, I think, should be given primacy.
One person, one vote is a concept that you agree with, right? Can we adopt a model like USA where there is a House of Representatives, then we have a concept of Senate where every state has equal participation? Similarly, we can have a concept where Rajya Sabha will contribute equally at all states, in all states. And then we have the Lok Sabha, which is the House of Representatives. So, do you think this is a potential solution in future?
Sir, Indian federalism system is quite different from American model of federalism, and we can think of this solution, but we have to make it more nuanced. There can be a set minimum cutoff on the number of seats which a state gets in Rajya Sabha, and however our constitutional makers had deliberately chosen this system where they have not given a fixed representation in Rajya Sabha.
So, three-language formula, what is your take on it?
Sir, if the mandate is 3 languages allow the child to have a greater cognitive benefits, it has been established by research. Moreover, sir, 3 languages allow for a national integration to happen, and as pursued by the NEP 2020, it should be put to use after addressing the cultural concern which states raises.
Okay, so let's say the Tamil Nadu has a concern stating that the Hindi is being imposed on them. Do you agree with the statement?
Sir, as per my reading, the apprehension is due to lack of textbooks, lack of material in languages other than Hindi. So the third language, a natural choice for the preference of third language is therefore rises for Hindi because of lack of material in, let's say, Kerala, Malayalam or Telugu or Kannada. So if we are able to develop materials in those languages, I think the apprehensions would be reduced, sir.
How many languages you know?
Sir, I can read, write and speak English and Hindi, or I can read Sanskrit as well, sir.
Another issue that India is facing is the problems of tariff war across the world, right? What do you think that potential solutions are there for India to adapt in this very volatile environment?
So both the sides need to sit together and address the concerns where they can have a national interest, where our national interest can balance, and we need to identify the specific sectors where we can reduce our tariffs as per their national interest and where we can get concessions. So my take is that India's export basket is quite diversified, not only in terms of products but also in terms of countries.
So let me give you some data. So India-US has a tariff. The trade deficit is around $45 billion. In agriculture product, India imposes around 39% of tariff duty on USA. If we compare on a whole, India imposes 17% taxes, whereas US imposes just 3% taxes. So do you think this is justified?
Sir, WTO allows for special and differential treatment where the developing countries are to be given some preferences so that they can compete at an equal footing on the global scale when compared to the developed countries. However, sir, the amount of differential can be adjusted with the time and with the need. And if the trade deficit has to be reduced, sir, we are open to have and we would like to have more trade in the energy sector, in the defense sector, and which would reduce their apprehensions, sir.
Okay. Last question of the day. Any role model? Sir asked about a role model as a political person, but any role model you have as a civil servant? Kiran Bedi. And why is that so? What is her contribution?
Sir, I think so because she broke the norms present, the orthodox norm present during her times that women cannot be in a put to physical situations which requires physical testing, and that is the reason, sir, because she tried, and despite the pressure from the orthodox society of those times.
First IAS officer woman in India?
Sir, I will read about it, sir. Apologies, sir.
The interview is over, Kanish.
Thank you, sir.